Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, Erev Tov. I'm Ariel Liebhaber, and I'm the director of the Boston Haifa connection here at CJP. And along with Marla and Judith, Hani, and Jackie in Haifa, we are all staffing what is now the Peoplehood agenda, of which School to School and the work that we do with the schools is a part of. And it's really a pleasure to have you all here together so that we can think in creative ways of how to strengthen our partnerships for your institutions and your students, even in these challenging times. We are well aware of the strains and uncertainty during these times, and that different institutions are in different places, trying to just get by and do their day-to-day work. And we know that this work is very important to us, and many times it's over and beyond what you do every day, but we still think it's critical. And we're really here to support you in any way we can in order to maintain and deepen, expand really thriving partnerships between American Jews and Israelis, of course. So today, what we want to present to you, we're going to have 3 different institutions represented and programs who are going to present to you what they do. And we think these are great examples and mediums of things that you could explore, take part in, really in interactive and participatory ways for your students and as partners. So we're going to let them do that, and the way it's going to happen, it's each one is going to present for 10 minutes the program, and then you have 5 minutes to ask them questions about that and clarification. And after the 3 speakers and all the questions are fielded, then we'll come back as a group and still have a discussion as well. So I'll let my colleague Judith Baruch in Haifa introduce our first speaker from Unistream. Thank you. Judith.
Judith?
We're still on mute,
I'm
Judith.
sure she's here.
Okay. Okay. It's raining here. Wow, I cannot hear you. Okay, as I think that I am Judith, and I am working at the Haifa Boston Connection for 11 years. I did something in another field, but now I'm joining Jackie, Hani, Ariel, and Marla, and I'm glad to join the Jewish Peoplehood.
יהודית,
כן?
לא רואים את הפה שלך ומאוד קשה להבין.
Now it's good? Okay, so...
קצת יותר קל להבין אותך.
So to repeat, 11 years in the Haifa Boston Connection, I joined the Jewish Peoplehood, and I'm really, really glad to do it with this wonderful team. And I would like to invite Shaked and Dor, and I see Lihi here from Unistream, to start. Bavakasha, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much. So hi, everyone. Nice to meet all of you. I hope all of you are doing well. I'm going to share my screen for just a second. Can you see it properly?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're very excited to be here today. So thank you so much for having us. And please, if you don't mind, just leave the questions to the end, okay? Okay, so my name is Shaked, and here with me is Dor, and we are both center managers at the Unistream nonprofit organization. My center is in Tirat Carmel, which is the closest city to Haifa, and Dor is the manager of the Tzfat Center in the north of Israel. And today we are here to present to you the Unistream program. So, Unistream is a nonprofit that is spread nationwide in Israel and has 22 entrepreneurship centers for teenagers and produces around 200 startups per year. Unistream aspires to teach teenagers the essence and skills of entrepreneurship. Our main goal is teaching teenagers from all layers of the community the ability of initiating and being independent in the business and entrepreneurship world. What we do, in simple words, is teaching our students to develop and start up, and during the process, the students are getting the skills they need to do that in the real world. The program we offer is a year-long. In the program, the students go through a real process of developing a product that starts with brainstorming that brings up ideas for products that will solve everyday problems for a lot of people. After bringing up all those ideas, the group is screening out most of them until they decide on which idea to develop during the year. And then they develop the product with the help of professional mentors that volunteer in Unistream. Luckily, we have almost 5,000 volunteers from the Israeli community. During the program, the teenagers study content from the business and entrepreneurship field and experience business presentations in front of real business people from the industry. And of course, they get to know and make new friends from the other side of the globe. The process teaches them teamwork, dealing with challenges, and of course, the similarities they all have. The Unistream program is a really interesting hands-on platform where teenagers can experience the real business world, learn a lot of quality content, develop a product, and make new relationships. Here you can see some of the products our students developed this year. Last year, we made an extremely successful twinning program with the LA Federation. We had 40 participants, 20 Israelis and 20 Americans for 2 months. The pilot was a great success with some great friendships and products. We are very proud to say that Unistream has been selected by the United Nations and as one of 10 organizations in the world for the Innovation Award as an organization that encourages dialogue between different segments of the population. To sum it up, I would like to say that Unistream is an excellent program that is very beneficial for the students from many different aspects. We would be very honored and happy to create a collaboration and let your students into our Unistream family. Thank you so much for listening. And now you can go ahead and ask all the questions, and Dor is here to answer. Thank you so much.
Let's say my name is Itzik. I'm a teacher from Ironi Haifa. Let's say we choose Unistream as one of the program we want to participate. What's the role? What's my role as a leader in school in that process? Like, you need me to choose kids. You need me to be there at the meetings. What's my role?
So the process is, hello everybody. My name is Dor. I'm very, very pleased to be here with you. With this difficult time of choosing the president. So Itzik, for your question, it depends of how much you guys would like to be involved. I mean, if the teachers would like to be a part of the syllabus or the program or whatever we're going to teach, then that's going to be perfect. Initially, we would love you guys to be a part of choosing the participants and who's going to be a part of it. And afterwards, it's going to be pretty much depends on how much you want to be involved. Did I answer your question? Itzik?
He looks like he's frozen, or he was.
Thank you.
Oh, sure. Any more questions? Did I answer the question? Like, did you?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, sure.
I think that this is the time to ask the questions.
יש לי שאלה ראשונה, ואני מבקשת בעברית, אפשר לתרגם. וזו שאלה דווקא לקבוצה שלנו בארץ. אנחנו אמורים לבחור פרויקט אחד, או אנחנו יכולים, לדוגמה, כמה ילדים יכולים ללכת לפרויקטים, כי חוק הוא המספרים גדולים. אם הקבוצות הן של 60, אני לא יודעת האם כל פרויקט שמוצע הוא מתאים ל-60 ילדים, או האם זה רק חלק מהקבוצה שלנו וחלק מהקבוצה בבוסטון. זה מידע ראשוני עוד לפני שאני נחשפת לפרויקט כזה או אחר.
I think that's better if
לא שומעים אותך, יהודית. יהודית?
לא, אבל אני אומרת, ג'קי, את במיוט, זהו.
כולם...
In principle, you need to choose one program from all the three that we are going to present here, and a group of most of the in this project, the limit of student is going to be 30 students. Shaked, correct me if I'm wrong, and it will be 30 students from Boston and from Haifa together.
Actually, I'm not sure.
20 each.
20 each mean 40 altogether.
Okay.
We can do it 40. That's even great.
You can choose the number of participants. It depends on however you would like to do it, and it's really custom to any organization that we work with. It's not, when we did it with the LA Federation, it was 20 and 20, so 40 overall, but you can choose any different kind of numbers you want to participate.
But in the end, it should be only 40. It doesn't matter if it's 15 and 25 or, okay, it's only...
No, it's really open. It's open to...
it's open.
It's open to discussion and whatever you would like to change it or utilize it in different ways or do different kind of groups. It's open. The groups are communicating with each other, having the classes together in order to do the innovation properly. So we need to take in mind that we also want them to have a good expression of themselves, and in the same time, we have a good amount of kids communicating with each other. So it depends how we want to work with it, but it's totally up to you.
Hi, it's Lisa Idison. I have a question. I'm wondering if you could give an example or two of the kind of collaboration that took place between the students, between the LA and the Israelis. It seems like there was a lot of working together, but I wonder what that looked like specifically.
Yeah, thank you so much. I can answer it, Dor, if you don't mind. So actually, the group is mixed. I mean, they do everything together. It's not like different tasks and then they meet. They actually did every single task together. Yeah.
But you want to have like one example of a task, right, Rabbi Lisa?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So thank you for that question. And as Shaked said, first of all, it's really important. It's key for our program. They're doing everything together. But for one example is to scatter the market, to see what we can create that is going to benefit our community. For example, we have a photo that the kids look at and try to understand the difficulties in that picture. For example, the drone that you saw, the drone that we just saw in the presentation, was a first aid drone. And what we saw in the first photo that we saw somebody that was injured. And the kids saw that an ambulance cannot go into this area of the injury. So in this area that will occur the injury. So they developed a drone. So one of the things that they do together on the internet, on the Zoom platform, they can have different photos, scatter them, try to understand the difficulties that community are dealing with, and try to find a solution for it together. That's one example of a task.
Okay.
Can I just get a little, I'm Laura, I'm also in Boston. I would love to hear a little bit more about, I don't know whether this is, perhaps this is a question, I don't know, for the bigger picture question, but are there, is this about this year? Is this about next year? Are there opportunities to do a one-time kind of like a very contained, like immersive experience? Like what are the possibilities in terms of what sort of the minimum, I'm curious to know what the minimum meaningful experience might be as you imagine it. And also, like, I hear that there's this amazing program that you did in LA for 2 months.
So the question, I think if I understand it correctly, is in two different ways. One is what we think that's going to be beneficial for the program. And the second is you're talking about continuity of the program. Is that correct?
I think one question is, can you run a program like this in a one-time kind of way?
Oh,
is
like
a pop-up
like
experience?
one meeting. Oh.
And the other question is more big picture, which is I'm curious to know whether the information that we're getting to hear today are things we should be considering or thinking about for this year or more for next year.
Okay, so I think for we have one meetings in Unistream. Like I did one meeting with my students. I got to say that in the Zoom platform, it's not as beneficial, and we want them to have an experience as a connection. We're talking about peoplehood, and we're talking about connecting the kids. So as more as the meeting will go forward, the connection is going to be deeper, and their innovation is going to be greater. So that's my take on that. But again, this is your decision.
And I want to add, if I understood the questions, I think what we did is offering 3 programs for this year because of the difficulties of this year not having delegations from Haifa to Boston to Haifa. We thought we can engage the student to be part of connection program, but bringing something different, something that they can connect to, something that will inspire them to take part of this program. And this is why we brought different subject like this one and like photography, etc. So because we thought the students will be more interested, and the second thing is that we wanted to easy the job for you, the teachers, because of the uniqueness of this year. Now, and we thought about this year, but if things will be, if this program will be interested for you, and you will want to continue it for next year, we can discuss it, and we can decide, of course, with the committee and with Haifa Boston and with you, whether we can continue these programs. But as a principle, we did it for this year because of the unique year. Okay.
Jackie, I just want to say that Sonia was asking a question on the chat before. And I think that Sonia, the meaning of the meeting is also that you will choose with your partners. We don't choose the programs. We just offer the opportunities here, and then you get to choose what is the most suitable program for your school.
Can I just add also, we also discussed the fact with Unistream about having like a more generic Boston group and a more generic Haifa group, whereas like you might have 2 kids who could be really interested in entrepreneurship in your own site, and that like the variety of sites together would make up one big group. So and then that would really help just kind of cultivate a Boston Haifa experience, but it wouldn't necessarily cultivate a partnership to partnership experience. So it's a more generic way of looking at it to help kids who might have that flair about their own kind of personality and interests.
Sounds great. Do you think we can, I think our next guest is waiting.
Okay, so if you don't have any more questions, then we thank you so much for listening and giving us this opportunity to share Unistream with you. If you want, we can leave our contacts in the chat or in any other way with Jackie or Marwa, and then you guys can, or Judith, and then you guys can reach out to us.
Sounds good.
תודה רבה.
Thank you. תודה רבה.
Thank you, Judith.
Good luck. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.
Lacha. But I think the Peoplehood Photography Course is next.
Yep.
And Sarit is a wonderful educator. She has been in the field for more than 30 years. She grew up in the States and she came back last year after relocation. And well, I think she will will telling us about the special program that she developed with all her skills in photography and art, where she taught also in the States, in Israel, and in India. So maybe Sarit Krupka, you're welcome to join us. Are you with us?
Yes, I am with you. Hello, everyone. For some of you, it's noontime around. Okay, I'd love to share the screen. I hope I have.
Yes, you are a co-host.
Okay, perfect. So let me start. Okay, so just confirm you see on your screen one photo. Okay, yes. Okay, so just 1 minute. Second. Okay. Wow. My name is Sarit Krupka Weingarten, and I'm a photographer. And I'd like to introduce to you the International Jewish Peoplehood Photography online course. And let's start from the beginning, Bereshit, Genesis. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God separated between the light and the darkness. These are probably the most famous lines in the Bible. And if you'd ask anyone around the world, who are the Jewish people? Most would answer, they are the people of the Bible. Now try something different. Read these lines in yellow again and visualize the scene in your head. Take a moment. Now, how would you turn this vision that you have into a photograph? And think how fascinating it would be to see the wide range of photographs people would take. So what is the Jewish peoplehood all about? Is it the Torah, the Bible that we just talked about? Is it tradition, religion, Israel, Jerusalem, the Hebrew language, heritage, history, community, belonging? What more? It's everything.
שרית?
כן?
סליחה שנייה. everybody can see the photos because
Yes.
because Marla can't see. She told me now. Anybody else that
We can all see. Yes, we see. Maybe you can share again, Sarit.
I got message that Marla can't see and the other one that can't see.
Ruth, can you see? Ruth Gal?
Yes, I can.
רגע, unmute.
Okay, I stopped it and I'll share it again because it's all
so
about the photos. So it's
You have to see.
So try again.
So let's do it again. Okay. Okay. Just 1 minute. I have to. Okay. Okay. Tell me if you see one photo with chairs.
Yes.
Okay. By the way, all the photos I'm showing, which is good for copywriting, that it's mine, so no worries. I hope you'll enjoy them. Okay, so we will embark on a special journey for participants from Israel and from Boston who seek to explore their Jewish identity. And with the help of photography, we will search what does it mean to be Jewish? What does it mean to be part of a community? We will also have international guest speakers part of this interesting journey. I will be teaching practical photography skills alongside theories of masters of photography and art. We will learn what makes a great photograph, a photograph that grabs the viewer. Light is the most important element in photography, and composition is vital to convey the story. And the story is what grabs the viewer. And you might ask yourself, well, what will they photograph? They'll photograph a meaningful place in their home or nearby, perhaps a library, books. Hands are always very meaningful. Still life that they can create even out of crumbled paper and flashlight. Candles, spice box, friends, family, nature, challah making, everything and anything. But the question is, what is important for the students? What voice, the visual voice, do they want to share to the world? Is it connecting the different Jewish communities around the world, keeping tradition alive, maybe mutual responsibility or Israel as a homeland? In this course, with the new photography skills and the knowledge and meaningful conversation, they will create and explore their Jewish identity. The participants will receive creative assignments between the different sessions, and then they will share the photos and give feedback and also learn to receive feedback. And this will again spark a conversation around the identity and around the photographs. What is very important is that we will create a safe and respectful space for open discussion. And here I have for you an inspiration board to get the feel of different aspects in the course. You have here Hatikva, the national anthem. You have here photos from famous photographers in the world, like Ansel Adams. I love his quote: "The single most important component of a camera is the 12 inches behind it." Ansel Adams, yeah, think of it. It's our head, it's what we are thinking. We have David Rubinger with a famous photograph, 1967 at the Kotel. Shalom, Golda Meir, Nomi Shemer. There is so much to explore. The final project will be shown as and exhibited as a virtual exhibition and it will be called the International Jewish Peoplehood Photography Exhibition. And now a little about me and how I came to build this unique photography course in Peoplehood with Oranim. So the basics. I'm married and I have 3 children, and this is a self-portrait. I'm in the middle. 30 years of love and passion for photography and exploration have exposed me to many genres of photography. And this enables me to build a unique and diverse course for the students. I was born in Israel, and at age 6, I landed straight into 1st grade in a yeshiva in New Jersey. I became an instant Jewish American because there was no Israeli community to be found. Here you see me in the middle. I'm the little one receiving a Torah from the Holocaust and the 8th grade project we had. For high school, I was back in Israel, Army and university, picked up a camera around age 16 and never let go. For almost 20 years, I traveled the world designing, organizing, and supervising the construction of commercial exhibitions. It was perfect for the energetic me. And the camera was always my right hand. And by the way, I'm a lefty. The camera was with me also through the different travels for capturing cultures, people, and places. And one of these travels, I even had a solo exhibition in Ein Hod called A Day in Delhi. A few years later, I found myself back in America with 3 grown children, and this time it was in Seattle. I was interviewed, had some published works, and I enthusiastically taught art and photography to children and adults. I brought something fresh and different into my lessons. And just before COVID-19 hit, I flew to India to teach my workshops. When I came back, COVID hit and I started teaching photography in Zoom. When I was in Seattle, I participated in the IAC Gvanim program. It is the Israeli American Leadership Program. And on one of the first sessions, they brought up a question. Do you see yourself as an Israeli, a Jew, or an American? And that's a big identity question. And I started backtracking my life and trying to figure out who am I? And with that, I returned to Israel 1 year ago. Thank you very much.
מקסים, תודה רבה, ריגשת אותי.
Is it Sarit?
Yes.
I think it's important to emphasize that the camera can be a cellular camera. Am I right?
That is a great question. I actually teach also in Zoom lessons, a classic camera, and also with a mobile phone. So it is possible to use both.
Okay.
Definitely. Because many of the things that I teach, composition, light, it really doesn't matter what you hold in your hand. It's just seeing the light, it's observing.
How long is the course?
The course, it really depends on what you're looking for, okay, in the program. I can make it 8 sessions, and of course, Peoplehood and photography, you can go on for a year. But let's say the basic course can be about 8 live sessions, and then they'll have their homework, and it'll be back and forth. It can be longer, as I said, depending.
What's the minimum and the maximum of the student group?
Also a good question. I don't like huge groups because it's very intimate. The discussions, I mean, we go through photographs and everybody talks. It's a conversation. It's not a webinar. It's all together. And it's very important for me to reach each and every one in the sessions. So I'd say ideally up to 12, but I could have more if really needed.
I'm on mute. Okay. I was going to say, this is definitely like a partnership opportunity here. We're looking for people to do this with their partner schools. So unlike the Unistream, that could be Boston and Haifa, this one is designed as both sides of the partnership working on this together. So I want to just clarify that.
I think that's what makes it so unique, to actually have different opinions from different communities. I must say that one of the things when I was in the IAC program was trying to figure out how we can bring together the Israeli community and the Jewish community, because it didn't work. It didn't come together as one. We're working on different projects in order to bring together, all the communities.
I just want to say that I know from firsthand, my kids took some courses. That's how I got to know Sarit, that, the skills on Zoom and to get close to people through a screen is not something to take granted for, especially when we are so tired from Zoom. But I think that this is an opportunity to get to know one another with the partners and their students. And when you share your house or you share a photograph, you expose yourself, and that may break some of the challenges of the Zoom. So I think it could be a great idea, as Marla was saying, for developing a new relationship between kids and partners.
That's only 12 kids.
לא, אז אוקיי, we have to emphasize, Sarit, to you too, that 12 is a problematic number, because 6 of them will be from Boston and 6 from Haifa, and it's a small, very small group. The minimum, it has to be from 2022.
20, yeah.
Okay. A good group from each side, or
Okay, Jackie, if you say the minimum is 20, it can happen. It can happen. I might add a little bit more time for the session, because I know it takes time, and I don't like rushing people when they start explaining about their different projects. So it is possible. It is possible.
Jackie, don't forget that after we choose the program, we need to find kids. And those days, it's not easy to find kids that want to take a part in a program with Zoom and Zoom and Zoom. Like it's a challenge. So hopefully we're going to get like 10 if we choose photography or Unistream, but it's not easy.
Ken, I understand. I just wanted to.
The hour-and-a-half meeting or the double lesson on Zoom, it's just a small part of the meet. The other things that the kids will be doing, it's a hands-on course. I think the other one too. They have to create. They have to think. They have to meet. They have to think. The Zoom meeting is just the means of just sharing, but it's not like the core and the heart of the programs. I think both programs, not only photography, it seems to me, right, Sarit?
Yes. The assignments, definitely, they're the thinking cap, the 12 inches behind the camera. A lot of thinking, a lot of exploring with the camera. It's definitely work in between. And they can also contact me. We can, have a group, either WhatsApp or whichever means during the week, during the sessions, that we can actually talk and get together in you know, maybe smaller groups, or, you know, any questions they have, I will be available for them. And in Zoom, I do want to say that, yes, the course is interactive. It's not a session that they only listen. It is interactive and using the different means that we have in Zoom to do that. Yes.
I'm curious what you guys are thinking in terms of timing. If we're talking about bringing the Israeli and the Boston kids together, I mean, if not to get too practical, the only time I can imagine is a Sunday morning, and that presents challenge for many of our kids who are like madrichim in Hebrew schools and stuff. So for the programs that are actually together online, I wonder if there are some ideas about how we can actually make that happen.
Sunday morning is a possibility. Another possibility is evening time in Israel, which is morning time in Boston. I know that I would like to know what the schedules are in Boston, because if they do learn in the morning, then it might, yeah.
I don't know if this is helpful, but we're thinking about 12:30 to 2 on Sundays, East Coast time, which would then be Sunday evening, where students could tune in Israel in the evening. I mean, that seems to be a time that is has been well received by folks, but we'll
Okay.
see. And also, in terms of how best to reach you after this, what would be the best? I mean, we're going to reach out to our partners and that kind of thing, but is or Jackie, are you going to be sharing contact info?
Yes, what we suggest that you will talk to your partners, you will pick the program that you are interested in, try to fit the partners what the framework and how you want to do it, and then you will sit with one of the representative here and try to match and to figure out how you will going to do this program, how many sessions, when, and how many students, etc. Yes. Okay.
I shared in the chat my my contact if needed, and also the website.
Okay. Any other questions?
No one?
Okay, we can.
Yes, we have another visitor. Thank you so much, Sarit.
תודה רבה, שרית.
בבקשה, תודה רבה. להתראות.
תודה רבה רבה רבה. Who is next?
Tali Kaplinsky.
Yes. Hi everyone. I'm Tali.
Hi, Tali.
How are you all? I've met some of you before. It's nice to see you guys. All right, so I'm from ScaVentures. I actually have a quick presentation, a PowerPoint to show you guys by means of introduction. So if you don't mind making me the host so I can share screen, that would be great.
You are.
Okay. All righty, share screen your fee. All right, you can see my slide?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, 1 second. Let's start the slideshow from the beginning. All right. So first of all, I'm Tali, founder and director of Israel ScaVentures. This is a tour operation in the field of educational tourism. We've been working for the past 10 years here in Israel. Our main focus, our focus until now has always been ScaVentures, which are tour games. In Israel, we started off in Jerusalem and we moved beyond Jerusalem. It's ways to explore a place and learn a story of a people, a city, a place, the story of Zionism, the story of the state of Israel. Our games have been very well received from day one, and to date we've worked on our offline scavengers with more than 30,000 participants. And with the corona, we needed to pivot very, very quickly. By March, we kind of changed the nature of our games. It wasn't about discovering a place. It wasn't about discovering a neighborhood like Jerusalem or Nachlaot or Neve Tzedek or Tzfat or whatever it is. They became online games that were themed. We started theming around in March, April, we themed around Pesach. Our first game ever was themed around Achdut, about togetherness, because the corona separated and isolated us. So the theme was how to bring, is bringing people together. And here I've written that we've developed more than 25 games offline and online, but it's at this point it's way more than that. Our online games are called the ScaVenture Quest. The way it works is you have a group. Group could be anything from 10 to 500, something like that. We could go more higher than that. The biggest group we have worked with was 500. The big group is divided into teams. Teams can be in one location, like a family, or they could be remote, like kids in their different homes working, together but separately. And every team gets a name, gets a kind of identity, and they have to compete each other to complete missions within a given time. Missions, I'm going to show you in a second. Missions are completed in stages. You need to get enough points to open up each stage, and then you have a winning team. And at the end of the game, the winning team is announced, and there's prizes and etc. Okay, they're run on our platform, and I actually want to segue now to our platform. I'm going to do a new share over here. 1 second. Let me see how we get to Travel Quest. Okay, this is the back end of our platform. This is a game that we ran for Jewish camps recently. And the participants, when they start playing in their teams, will see something a little bit more pretty than what I'm showing you. But in order to show you more than less, I'm showing you the back end of it. So if you look, here's the game that I'm showing you was called the Israel Trail Amazing Race. It was basically an amazing race along Shvil Israel. If you can see on the left-hand side, I'm running my mouse down this. There are five areas, 5 levels in this game. The first level was about getting the team together, to work together, to know each other, to kind of give them a little bit of, practice hitnasut, figuring out how to play the game. The second level was the north of Israel, go north, then the center of Israel, the south of Israel, and a bonus mission. I'm just going to show you a few highlights so you can see types of games that we've played, or types of missions that we do. Did someone have a question? Okay. So in the team, the first mission, which is about figuring out who my team is and who I'm working with, they need to make a photo grid, a mugshot photo grid of the entire team. And they need to write on this photo grid each person's name, age, nationality, and the secret talent that will help them see through the challenge of going through the Israel trail, because the Israel trail is challenging. So they, it's very cute, very funny, and their secret talents could be anything from making funny noises with their mouth to standing on their head or whatever. And that's their mugshot. In order to complete the mission, they will work together to get all their photographs into one place, and then they'll upload their photo over here. And then our staff that is playing the game with them live will affirm or disaffirm, or approve and disapprove their mission, and then hopefully they got it right, and then they can move on to the next stage, which is the north. So here they need to find out the coordinates of this, where this place is, of this coordinates. It's the Hermon, and they have to upload a photo of the weather today. So at the moment you're seeing a lot of photos kind of missions. Here, this mission in the Kinneret is they have to write a rap. They have to perform a rap. They have to be in dress up, and they have to research the Kinneret, because the rap is about the Kinneret. And the rap has to include the words, yo, 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 my bro, and bonus points if you dress up. And then they upload a video. Often if they're working remotely, the video is going to be them filming themselves in their Zoom breakout room. And it's very cute and very funny and incredibly fun for our staff to watch. Another type of mission that I wanted to show you over here in Jerusalem is we show them a few sites in Jerusalem, and they need to select what the site is. It's multiple choice. So this, they would select the Givat Ram, the Teddy Stadium. They would select the Jerusalem Zoo, etc. There's a bunch of these questions. They'll submit. They get the answers. And then in the south, you've seen the different types. It's either uploading photos, uploading clips. Here, mission 1, they have to pour freezing water over their heads, and they have to figure out who the Israeli prime minister who said Israel's future lies in the Negev, and then in what desert community was he buried. And then once they figured that out, they need to pour water over their heads and say David Ben Gurion lived in Sde Boker, and bonus points for every kid who's pouring water over their head. So again, it's really fun for us to watch when we're dry and they're wet and screaming. Bonus mission can be anything we want. Here it was specifically they needed to figure out what trail angels are. Sometimes we have more than one mission over here in the bonus points, in the bonus mission. So that's the structure of the game. I'm going to jump back to the PowerPoint. 1 second, you're still with me, right? You can see the PowerPoint. The missions, as I said, could be random topics. They could be lip syncs. We try and include a doing good, in the world kind of mission. This is what it looks like for them. On the top right, they see this. Underneath is the charts of the points of the different teams. They can see how teams are doing, how every other team is doing. They can't interact or talk to the other teams. But most importantly, on the right over here, this is the chat with us, with our staff. We are what you can see in purple and white with purple letters is the names of the teams of the specific game. They chose their names. Our staff is playing with them. We're there to answer questions. We're there to encourage them. We're there to give technical support, and to keep the game going all the time. The themes that we have, that we've planned for winter of this year, is our Jerusalem ScaVentures quest. That's our classic Jerusalem game where everything is around the theme of Yerushalayim. We have our Israel ScaVentures quest. We have Hanukkah ScaVentures, has actually changed the name. It's now ScaVentures in the Lands of the Maccabees, and it's awesome. It's like the newest game that we've written, and every time we write, it just becomes more and more amazing, because we're just getting better at it as we're inventing the wheel. So that's a lot of fun. The Israel Trail game that you just saw. The partnership, I think, is relevant to you guys. The partnership could fit into any of the above topics or any other topic that you'd be interested in. And this is groups playing together from Israel and, you know, the States or any other country. And there we've kind of, you know, made the missions that they need to interact with each other. They need to ask each other questions. They need to figure out what's important, you know, and what we have in common and what is different, you know, in the way that we live in and the way that we think. So that's the partnership game. And then most importantly, we have a customized ScaVentures game. Anything can be customized, and we can make anything that you want. So if you want something that's specific to Haifa or Haifa Boston, or you know, you have a theme in mind that you want to work on, it's very important for us that we work with you, and that we brainstorm with you. You can send us missions, and we'll try and you know, or ideas or topics that you know want to include in the game, and we'll do our best to include it. Here we have a very nice review. We did an amazing job leading a virtual Israel Amazing Race for Jewish camp. The teams had so much fun. It was a great activity for the family to play together. This was a family game. This wasn't kids playing together. We heard from parents and kids alike that they couldn't believe how much they laughed together through the whole game. And that very much is the experience that we've had, that, you know, families are laughing and having fun and cooperating and talking and just really having a great time together. By doing one of our online games, you're providing a fun and meaningful Jewish or Israel identity activity. You're engaging participants with your narrative. We start off the game in a Zoom where you get the opportunity to say hi, to say what it is that you want to say. The game will be tailored towards the theme that you want to express. And then it ends in Zoom, where you can give the prizes, or again, you have another opportunity to express or you know, emphasize the key narratives that are important to you. And finally, a benefit is keeping participants engaged with each other. You know, in a time where we're very, very isolated. This is key. And I have over here a YouTube clip of a game that we did with quarantining kids, American kids in Israel. They came on one-year programs. So I'm going to just show you. It's not very long. I hope that you guys can see it. And then I'll be very, very happy to answer any questions. One sec, is that going there? Looks like it is.